And welcome to Heritage Hall ChargerVision. I'm Brian Gordon. Tonight we've got a great slate of Heritage Hall soccer ahead for you. Starting off with the Heritage Hall Lady Chargers taking on the number 2 Santa Fe South Lady Saints. The Chargers are coming in at 6-1, the Lady Saints at 8-2, and it should be a good one for a district matchup. Lady Saints have always put a good team on the field and look to challenge the Chargers in their home field here at Pop Murray Stadium. Chargers are coming in after a couple of solid wins, a 4-1 win over Duncan on the 2nd, and then a 5-0 win versus 4A Miami on the 31st. A good outing by the Chargers, but they really have to respond today with the Lady Saints. The Lady Saints are coming in with some wins of their own. They had beat Newcastle in the Bethany tournament 4-0. Bethany 3-0, a 3-0 win in the Bethany tournament, and then had a 3-2 loss in PKs against Cash in that Bethany tournament. So Lady Saints are looking to rebound against Heritage Hall. Our feature player of the game is Mary Kate Magnus. She's a sophomore standout, leading goal scorer for the team, and certainly a leader on the field. She has 14 regular season goals and is a bright spot on this Heritage Hall team out there. Definitely can play multiple positions. It wouldn't be uncommon for you to see her in the defense, see her up top, playing that wing, and certainly playing in that midfield role. So look for her to play a big part of the Heritage Hall attack tonight. She is certainly a goal-scoring prowess and somebody that the Lady Saints will certainly want to keep their eye on. For our keys to the game for the Heritage Hall Chargers, first, finish scoring opportunities. That is something that the Chargers have really been working on to make sure that when those opportunities end up in front of the goalkeeper, that they are able to get that ball into the net and take advantage and put the game away early, not let teams stay in the game for too long. Pass and possess in the middle of the field. Playing through Mary Kate when she's in that midfield role is going to be a big part of the success for the Chargers. Keeping control of the ball and keeping the possession of the play for the Chargers is going to be a way to come to a win on this game. And then finally show toughness on 50-50 balls out of the air. A lot of the time you'll see the Chargers playing long, and they need to bring those balls down, not just give them up at 50-50 balls or let the Lady Saints control the field or control the game by bringing it down. So a lot of things to work on for the Chargers. The Chargers have had a really good run so far in the beginning of their season and look to finish this game and put this behind them and really take a dominant spot within the district play. So we have about 3 minutes left before the kickoff of the game. We'll break to a commercial and then bring the Heritage Hall Chargers against the Lady Saints.
When you walk into Fuzzy's Taco Shop, you'll know you're in the right place. With the best Baja-style menu in town, we'll have the whole family addicted. Order up. Nachos, tacos, burritos.
You just cut. Go back to your commercial again.
When you walk into Fuzzy's Taco Shop, you'll know you're in the right place. With the best Baja-style menu in town, we'll have the whole family addicted.
Order up.
Nachos, tacos, burritos, it doesn't matter. It's like an explosion of flavor in your mouth. We know you've had a long day, and you deserve a break. So, bring the crew to one of the Fuzzy's Taco Shop locations in Norman, Oklahoma City, or Stillwater. Welcome to your new addiction. Eat me.
Mercedes-Benz of Oklahoma City is proud to offer the leader of luxury SUVs, the new 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350.
We were looking for a powerful luxury SUV that's easy to handle. Safety is always a concern when driving on the highway, and we were really impressed with all the safety features on the GLE. It has a lot of cargo space, and that's very important to me when I'm hauling the family around. Our sales associate made our experience very memorable. It was just that easy.
Only at Mercedes-Benz of Oklahoma City.
And welcome back to Heritage Hall ChargerVision. I'm Brian Gordon, and you are watching the Heritage Hall Lady Chargers take on the Santa Fe South Lady Saints in a 5A district matchup. Coach Robin Brewster leading the Heritage Hall Lady Chargers, who are 6-1, 2-0 in district play. Wes Furley is leading the Lady Saints at 8-2, who are also 2-0 in district play. Chargers going to take a different lineup coming into this game, a little bit more unusual, a little more attacking than in the past, starting with Lainey Gray at the top. She's a speedster up top, can certainly put the ball into the goal and look for a lot of activity from her. Across the middle, Chargers are going to have 5 midfielders, starting with Elena Wilson on that left. She was our feature of the player of the game in the last home game, and really a valuable player with that left foot. Layla Ramanzada is going to be in the midfield. She will play all over the field. She is a leader on the team, and certainly a lot of effort, a lot of movement from her throughout the game. You'll see her playing multiple spots, multiple areas of the field. And then, of course, our feature player of the game, Mary-Kate Magnus, in the center. Look for everything to come through her. She will be connecting that defensive line with Lainey Gray and hopefully playing balls off of Lainey Gray in an attacking format. Jalen Johnson's going to be in that midfield as well. Newcomer to the Heritage Hall this year, and certainly has proved her worth on the field. She is fun to watch. And then Macy Moore on the outside, on the right side as a midfielder as well. That back lineup, very, very stout back lineup, starting with Katie Ross on the left, Avery Brown in the center, and then Riley Orton, one of the leaders of the Heritage Hall team, in the center, and then Ellie Lewis on the right side. And then last, Gabby Bowen, who is a Renaissance player of some sorts. She's able to play midfield, play defense, and now she is playing goalkeeper for the Heritage Hall Chargers. She's done very, very well, and it's great to have a resource like that to be able to put in the goal. So, new lineup for the Chargers, more aggressive lineup for the Chargers. Should be able to see some goals come out of this lineup, and hopefully be able to put a little bit of distance early between them and the Lady Saints. Looks like the girls are taking the sidelines, getting ready to take the field. The captains had been to the center of the field. Referees are on the fields, and the soccer balls are set up, ready to be taken to the end. So should be an exciting game for the Chargers. A lot of excitement this year. This is a quality team that I think the Chargers really have high expectations of what they can do this season. They've made it to state finals multiple years in the recent past, and this is one of the better teams that they've had. So we expect to see some really quality play and maybe a deep run through the playoffs. But first, Chargers have to get through district play. Right now, the districts are set up, so the Piedmont is actually top of district. They have a 9-1 win and loss score or schedule. They have 2 wins in the district play, no losses. Then Santa Fe South with their 2 district wins, and then Heritage Hall with 2 district wins. MacArthur is following up with 2 district wins. So from a district standpoint, a lot of congestion at the top for the Heritage Hall girls to work through, but that'll all get sorted out as district play continues. The other players in the district are Altus, who's 1-2 in district play, Eisenhower, who is 0-2 in district play, Western Heights, who's 0-2 in district play, and then Duncan, who's 0-3 in district play. So still some games to be had to kind of shake this out, but should be a fun one to watch tonight. And then, of course, after this, we have the boys taking on the powerhouse Santa Fe South Saints boys program, a program that is used to being in the state finals, at least used to going deep in state championship playoffs. So it'll certainly be a test of a very unpredictable but a very good boys soccer program. So last couple of seconds of the pregame, and then the girls are about to kick off. Looks like they've decided their side. Chargers looking to take the right side of the field, so they will be in their all white, most likely working from your right to your left. The Santa Fe South Saints are going to be in all black, likely working from the left to the right. So nice day out, warm for an April, warm with the anticipation of getting cooler. This is a special broadcast of ChargerVision Soccer because, as you are probably well aware, these games were actually scheduled for tomorrow, but in the anticipation of some not so good weather tomorrow, both coaches decided to move the games up a day to make sure that they got them in, and they picked a good day to do it. Not really much wind, 60s out there. So nice day for soccer. Really perfect weather for soccer. The Pop Murray field is holding up very, very well. Starting to see that green come into play, and really a good soft grass field for the Chargers to play on. So the girls are taking the field. Should see kickoff here momentarily. First half will be a 40-minute first half. And it looks like the girls proved me wrong. So the Chargers will be from your left to your right, and the Santa Fe South girls will be from the right to the left. Santa Fe South looks like they won the toss, so they're going to get the ball first half. And then Chargers will likely get it second half. Goalies are taking their place. Referees are taking their spots. Sideline judge finding their locations. And it looks like we're about to get kicked off. And we're off. Chargers looking to get possession early, pressure the Santa Fe South girls. Lainey Gray up top is going to be a big part of that, and she's already gotten into a little bit of space. Mary Kate in the center trying to get control of the ball. And here's an opportunity for the Santa Fe South on that right side. Riley Orton doing a good job of going and cleaning up and relieving some of that pressure, making sure that the Santa Fe South girls don't get in behind them. But that's going to be a big part of the Santa Fe South team, is that they're going to look for that counter, try to get in behind the defense so that they can pressure our keeper one-on-one. Santa Fe South is very well organized from Coach Brewster. They're a very tough team, and they do have very good speed up top. We saw a little bit of that with that right side, and that right side forward being able to get forward and get in behind. But Riley Orton's got some pretty good speed as well, so she's able to get in and clear that up, and you'll see her do that quite often. She is one of the stellar players on this team, always has been involved with our team, the starting lineup for her entire career, and really has been an asset to this program for a very, very long time. Looks like the Chargers earned themselves a free kick inside the Santa Fe South end of the field. Riley Orton's going to take the kick. The Chargers pressing up, pushing 7 girls up against the 18-yard line. Riley's going to have a choice of whether she lofts it or tries to put it on goal and see if they can collect the ball. Good curving ball on that back post. There's somebody there. That's Mary Kate. A little bit of a high kick. She waited for that bounce to come down, and the keeper was coming out and pressuring, but the referee allowing her to play on. But an opportunity for the Chargers are early on with the free kick from Riley Orton. Mary Kate getting in there and trying to make something of it. Number 17, good through ball. This could be trouble if Chargers couldn't get their hands on the keeper. He was a little bit hesitant coming out. The Saints playing the ball back out, but it's still putting pressure within the box, and now the Chargers looking to clear it out. And that one goes astray. That'll end up going out of bounds for a throw-in. So the Chargers are trapped down in their end, but a dangerous ball from Santa Fe South deep into the Charger box. The Heritage Hall keeper, Gabby Bowen, was a little bit hesitant coming out, probably not sure exactly how much of a role her defender was going to take. And then by the time that she had decided to come out, the Santa Fe South forward was already there ready to take a shot, and luckily Gabby was able to get a hand on it and make sure that nothing came out of that. So a throw in for the Chargers on this near side. Santa Fe bringing it down. Good turn by Santa Fe South, just unable to get it turned around. Riley Orton there to clear it out. Ramonzada playing it up to Mary Kate Magnus. Mary Kate, good turn on her player. Now she's got a little bit of speed. She's got Lainey Gray up forward if she can get the ball forward, creating some space. Now she's got Lainey Gray, and Lainey Gray was just offside. That last defender stepped up to challenge Mary Kate and put Lainey Gray offside. But good thought both from Lainey Gray and Mary Kate Magnus on that exchange. They can see the openings within the defense and are starting to pick that apart. And you can see that that they'll be able to take advantage of that a little bit further into the game, I think, as that back line starts getting a little bit tired. Macy Moore challenging on that ball. Looks like a throw in for the Chargers. So good job for Macy being involved and getting that ball off of a Santa Fe South player. Outside ball to Lainey Gray. She's going to try to get it. Got another defender to get around. It gets to Elena Wilson. A little bit of a possession problem there with Elena. She just came off her foot. Yeah. But Chargers still putting pressure on now. Mary Kate gets it. She's got a defender to beat her. She can get in there. She's got a left foot. Can she get it across? Comes off of a player. That'll end up being a throw in for the Chargers deep in the Santa Fe South end of the field. So throw in for the Chargers. Lena Wilson on that far side going to do the honors. She's going to look for Mary Kate. She's got Macy Moore on this backside here. Mary Kate's there in the center. If she can turn, she doesn't really have anybody crossing in for her. Ramanzada came in a little bit late, but that's a little bit of a wasted opportunity just because there was somebody there. A long shot into goal. Didn't really challenge the keeper too much, but put it in the mixer, see what happens. Sometimes crazy things can happen, weird bounces and whatnot. Ramanzada on the ball, plays it back to her defense, who just then clears it out. Katie Ross doing the honors there. Again, a little bit of ball in the air, that kickball kind of environment. That's exactly what Coach Brewster wanted to try to avoid, and that those 50-50 balls, every time that ball just kind of goes high in the air, especially in the core of the field, it really just becomes a 50-50 ball, and you got a challenge to gain possession. Girls are probably better suited for just playing the ball on the ground, looking for those channels to take advantage of. So the ball goes out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Chargers. It's got Mary Kate down the line. Ball comes off of Mary Kate's head. Lainey Gray looking to cross it. Got away from her and ends up coming off of Macy Moore's knee, so that'll be a throw-in for the Santa Fe. Santa Fe's done a good job of counter-attacking there, but really needs to, again, kind of just like the Chargers, bring that ball down, collect it, get control of the ball, see if they can use the width of the field. A lot of the play has been on this side of the field so far, and really hadn't been able to take advantage of the open spaces. Ramanzada tried to create some open spaces, got her pocket picked on that one. Good job by the Charger defense to get involved there. Turn of the ball. That's Ramanzada there. She's going to dribble into space. She's got a couple of defenders with her out to Elena Wilson. And you'll see that Ramanzada is not afraid to dribble, so she'll take that ball and try to expose the defense, get a couple of them to dive in, maybe and look for a pass up to Lainey Gray just as the defender's diving in and comes off of Lainey. So part of the game plan for the Chargers is really using Layla's dribbling skills to create some space for the forward. It's like that one cleared out of the park, and so they will retrieve the ball, take a minute, and get the ball back into play. Want to give an extra special thanks to our newest sponsor, Heyday Entertainment. It's packed with family fun, bi-level laser tag arena, bridges and ramps, mini golf, ropes courses, arcades, and pizza. Visit them in Lower Bricktown or Norman and watch the game at Heyday. Watch the game the Heyday way. Throw in for the Santa Fe South Saints. Santa Fe's pretty well spread out. Chargers in a good defensive form. Comes down off of Jalen Johnson. Now Ramanzada's there. Just good challenge for the ball. Get it out to Lainey Gray. Can Lainey Gray get around her defender? Trying to turn it back to the inside. Her right foot kind of let her down on that one, but she was able to, and the defender was able to clear it away, but the Chargers able to get it back there. Can Elena Wilson do something? Can Mary Kate Magnus looking to maybe chip the keeper there? Not a bad effort, but it ends up going wide of the goal, so it'll be a goal kick for the Santa Fe South Saints. So 30 minutes left in the first half. 0-0 Heritage Hall versus Santa Fe South in a 5A district matchup game. District games have a little bit more importance than the traditional or just non-district games, just in the sense that you still get the win, you still have the wins and loss, but this one determines whether you make the playoffs and how you are seeded in the playoffs. So certainly an important game for both teams. Certainly an important game that they want to put their best effort on the field, because this could very well determine who's first seed in a very competitive 5A district. Again, Piedmont sitting at the top, but essentially you have a four-way tie for first place from a district play. Piedmont, Santa Fe South, Heritage Hall, and MacArthur at the moment, but all sitting at 2-0. Keeper able to come collect that one, gets it up to Mary Kate again. Out to Macy Moore, now to foot race down the sidelines. The ball drifts out of the field, so it'll be throw in for Santa Fe. Jalen Johnson on that ball, trying to get up to Laney Gray. Defense clears it back out. A little bit of a kickball competition here. Santa Fe finally bringing it down on that far side. Playing it back, looking for a hole. Good job by the Santa Fe forwards to get in behind our defense. I think they had Katie Ross a little bit spun around on that one, but the ball ended up going too deep for the Santa Fe forward, and her cross ended up going straight to the keeper. So Chargers kind of dodge a bullet, but the defenders have to kind of keep their heads on the swivel on that end. Just watch for those give and goes. Throw in for the Saints. Charger territory. This is where you look for that Heritage Hall defense to clear the ball, get it out of pressure, and you really have to, again, play it through the middle like the Chargers are trying to do. The field's collapsing on them a little bit quicker than I think they're expecting, but it's going to be a big deal to play through that middle and connect the defense with Laney Gray up top, or to play off of Laney Gray up top. Katie Ross on that outside. She's going to have her hands full with that forward on number 17 on the far side as well. So keep an eye on that. Throw in for the Santa Fe South. Into the keeper's hands, and so the keepers are getting a lot of activity in this game. Some often keepers for Heritage Hall don't get a whole lot of activity. This one, she's got to have to be aware of what's happening on that field to make sure that she's watching for those long shots. Good look down the sidelines, but Ramazada trying to find Elena Wilson on that left side. Number 17 for the Saints, again, just beating the defense on that far side. Able to get a crossover. Unfortunately, it was a lofting rainbow of a cross, and so it really gave the defense too much time to prepare. Now Mary Kate's got a couple of defenders to beat. She's going to try to split them. Still got some space. Keeper's going to come out and challenge it and collects on it, or falls on it. Defense were collapsing on it. A lot of traffic in there in that box for the for both Santa Fe and Heritage Hall. It's like Chargers are looking to make a sub. Hansing's about to come in, so she's sitting on the sidelines patiently waiting to get her call in. Santa Fe South playing down the line on that far side. Number 17 is crossing the ball into the box. Ball comes off of Brown's foot. Number 2 still there and is able to clear it out of the way. So definitely some scary opportunity there. Now it's a foot race. Can Laney Gray get there? She's got one defender to beat and the keeper, and the ball ends up just rolling into the keeper's hands. It's like a defender goes down. Referee has a word with Laney Gray, and the play continues. Ball comes down. Layla Ramzada trying to bring it down. Avery Brown able to help usher it out. Katie Ross making sure it gets out of bounds. So the Santa Fe South has throw in on their side. 25 minutes left in the first half, 26 minutes left in the first half. Santa Fe South, it's really been a pretty even game so far for the Chargers. It's like Laney Gray's dropping in towards the back into defense. Hansing's gone, Lily Hansing's gone up top. So a little bit of a shift. It's like Katie Ross is coming out, or Ellie Lewis, I'm sorry. Ellie Lewis is on that far side. Ellie Lewis is coming out. Might have a pulled hamstring or something going on. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Mary Kate Magnus with an opportunity here. Ball still in play for Elena Wilson. Can she get across? And high cross just goes off of the keeper's hand, stays to the inside. Throw in for the Chargers, but that one's going to be deep in the Santa Fe South territory. .25 minutes left in the first half. Looks like Hanson's going to take the throw in. Heritage Hall Charger 0, Santa Fe South 0. Crossing the box. Layla Romanzada there comes off her foot. If she had gotten control of it, she would have had an opportunity point blank on the keeper and just wasn't able to get her foot on it. Ended up going out of bounds for a goal kick. So the Chargers narrowly miss another opportunity. And we've got a special guest, folks. Heritage Hall patron George Crescent joining us in the booth. George is a very active part of the soccer area around Oklahoma City and is joining us with to give us some of his insight in the game.
It's good to finally be here after enduring this traffic mess, whatever was going on today.
Yep, it's nobody's used to clear weather. I think everybody's just too busy staring in the sky.
Right.
Good cross by Santa Fe South into the box. The defender or the attacker had an opportunity. That's a driven ball just wide of the goal by Santa Fe South. That number 17 has really been a thorn in the Heritage Hall side. She was really putting a lot of pressure on that far wing position, and now she's slid into to the midfield. So the Chargers will have to keep an eye on her. Goal kick for the Heritage Hall Chargers. So, George, a beautiful day for Heritage Hall soccer.
Absolutely.
Nice 60-degree weather. Much better than what was it planned on playing tomorrow. But it sounds like the weather tomorrow is going to be a little bit chilly for the girls. So I bet the girls are pretty happy they're playing tonight, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, just taking a glance here, what formations Robin going with?
Coach Brewster is going with the non-traditional 4-5-1.
That's what it looked like. So we've got somebody trying to pull the Zlatan post-up position.
And filling the role of Zlatan is going to be Laney Gray. Mary Kate Magnus on that backside, if she can get it. She's got a couple of people in the box and couldn't get her hips around to be able to cross it. I think the crowd is trying to help encourage her to make that cross as well. But a good opportunity for the Chargers. And I think it looked like she knew what she wanted to do. She was trying to get her hips around to get a ball across, but she really only had one target there.
Right.
So maybe a little, take a step, collect the ball, look for more traffic to come into the box, and then play your pass back away from the goal and might create a little bit more opportunity.
She had some time if she wanted to pull it back. It looked like the defender had probably overcommitted.
So a corner kick for the Chargers. The Chargers have 5 kids in the box looking for white jerseys. Good floating ball right there in the center of the box. Comes off of the head of Mary Kate Magnus, just goes wide, but got to take advantage of those opportunities. Often you don't get to see those pretty balls come into the box like that and give you enough time to settle under it, and you really got to take advantage of them. So a goal kick for the Santa Fe South Saints. Long play down the center. Number 11, now they've got two attackers up top. Foot race with the defensive. Now as the ball gotten away, can the defender get there? Still kind of messing around with it. Saints really doing a good job of putting pressure on the Chargers defense, but Riley Orton, that sweeper back, she is a phenomenal player, and she is one of the best players in the state, so she's going to be a challenge to get behind regardless for anybody.
Yeah, and it looks like Santa Fe probably could have done better with that, but she played it very smart.
Big cross, that's a dangerous ball. Came off the keeper. Keeper was able to smother it, but she's lucky she got onto it before that attacking forward got in. And really, that's why something the Chargers have to watch, because it seems like the Charger defense is kind of playing a little bit reactionary here, watching the Santa Fe girls take a advance into the box and not really covering that. They're going to have to be careful about that.
Let's give away.
Yeah, the Chargers, part of Brewster's keys to the game was really just kind of keeping control of that ball. And you'll find a lot of, especially with this level, kickball with high school soccer. It's not quite what you might see in the club level soccer. Certainly not what you're going to see in even the professional soccer. One of the big things we've always determined is, the difference between youth, amateur, and professional soccer is how much control can a player keep. The ball coming from 20 yards away, can I make it drop to my feet, or is it going to bounce away 5 feet away from me? And that's where the high school kids, you'll see them just basically kick the ball back and forth because they can't ever really get control of it.
Yeah, it looks like there's more time. It looks like there's a little bit of pressing going on, and if they just kind of take a deep breath and find some space, it's there.
Yeah, Mary Kate Magnus on the ball. She's got a handful of defenders ahead of her. She's just going to try to get around them. And fight on that sidelines, ends up getting the throw, and so good for Mary Kate. She's got a couple of players in the center, but Elena Wilson's going to come take that throw. So throw in for the Chargers. Ball in the center. Santa Fe just working to clear that out. Lyra Ramonzada trying to turn it the other way. Now, if Elena Wilson can get it and turn it, she's got some forwards up there. She just has to get the ball in behind the defense. It's a lot easier said than done when we're standing up here, but there's a lot of space between that keeper and that defensive line that can be exposed by a good cross.
Yeah, and it looks like Santa Fe is leaving 3 people up, so there's a huge gap in the midfield that could be taken advantage of potentially.
Yes, very, very true. And they've got a lot of speed up top, so we'll have to watch that. That's going to be part of their game plan, or those hitting those balls over the top and trying to get in the foot races with our defenders. Good job by Katie Ross to disrupt that attack. Santa Fe wins it back.
And lots of space.
Oh, that's a dangerous ball. Ball gets through. Keeper comes out, but a good look by the Santa Fe South Saints. Had a forward running through and put a very nice ball in behind the defense. Just a little heavy, but good thought by the Saints. So, George, if you're channeling Brewster at this point, what do you, having seen a couple of minutes out here, what's the number one correction you give the girls?
Well, I think they need to be aware of this over-the-top ball that Santa Fe keeps playing, and so they either need to have a little bit more communication in the back and try to catch them in a trap, or they need to just be aware of these through balls, because it looks like if they get into a foot race on a consistent basis, they might be sorry about that.
Yep, that seems to be the game plan they're going with. Riley Orton, number 16, is back there to be able to help clean up, but if she's got 2 or 3 people on her, then that could get really dangerous very, very quickly.
Right.
Speaking of Riley Orton, she's taking the shot, puts it on goal. That's a floating ball. That may be
nice.
Just about in, just almost over the top of the keeper's hands, but for a very well-placed ball from, goodness, about 40 yards out.
Right.
Katie Ross disrupting that ball, so Santa Fe South looking to work on that far side Number 5, who's Laney Gray, she was the forward at the beginning of the game. Looks like Coach Brewster's made an adjustment, put Laney Gray in that back right defending role where some of that speed was really taking advantage of or affecting the Chargers. So after this game, the Charger boys are going to play the Santa Fe South boys team, and that is going to be a program to watch. That boys program is always done very, very well, and it should be a battle of two very good soccer teams. That ball shifts through, and again, you can kind of see the speed of that Santa Fe South top line, those forwards.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, and it's always a difficult call because you don't want to get trapped too much in terms of pressing, but these Santa Fe midfielders have a lot of time and space to put these balls through. It seems like maybe a little bit of more pressure in the midfield may choke that off a little bit.
Yeah, our midfield seems to be a little more offensively minded rather than even defensively minded, waiting for the defense to stymie any attacks and then receive the ball from them rather than stopping the attack in the midfield itself.
Right.
So we got 14 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half. Chargers 0, Santa Fe South 0. Should be not necessarily a high-scoring game because I think they're just two really good defenses here. But Santa Fe South's really been able to put some numbers up. 11-1 win over U.S. Grant, a 10-0 win over Crooked Oak, 10-0 win over Southeast, 6-0 win over Bethany. And here's an opportunity. Goalie in the back. Really going to have to watch this one. Gabby Bowen's really going to have to judge this one because you know this is going on frame. There's not enough really room to put it in behind the line.
Right.
Good, well-driven ball just off the football crossbar, but dangerous opportunity for the Saints, and Chargers are a little bit lucky that one was a little bit high.
Yeah, and I think looks like Alejandra Andretti, number 17, on top of having some pretty good vision and speed, has a nice command of the ball in her shot. She put a little bend on that. If it had been on frame, it might have been a lot of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. She's really been the one that a lot of the soccer's gone through for the Santa Fe South. You know that they're picking her out because she's got good skills, and that as she's proven already, she's really got a lot of speed on that outside. Mm-hmm. So definitely have to watch out for her, and I think that's one of the reasons why Coach Brewster put Laney Gray in the defensive roles to match speed for speed at the very least. But those adjustments throughout the game are really they're the important part of soccer, high school soccer, is making those little adjustments here and there and to make your game a little bit more competitive. Throwing for the Chargers.
And Brian, to your point, Coach Brewster, astutely has made this change. It's not always a rule that you have to wait to halftime to make your adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Brewster's seen enough soccer that she knows, and she's probably made some of those mistakes. Probably made some really good decisions on her career, and so she's seasoned enough to know that she needs to. She was needing to make a change very quickly. Mm-hmm. Riley Lorton clearing that one out. Now the Chargers looking to play the ball through the middle. Didn't quite get the ball to the player that she needed. Layla Ramazada getting. Now she's got some speed. She's got some space. She's got Hansing up top to try to clear out more space. Crossover ball. May on the ball, and that one gets cleared out. So the Chargers threatening deep.
Now that was a nice run. Let the game sort of slow down. Didn't rush any decisions.
Yep, played the ball at the very last minute and had two wings out there available for her. Ball comes off of her head, but Layla Ramazada not quite able to get it directed away from the keeper, but another good opportunity for the Chargers. And really, from what we've seen so far, I think the Chargers have had the better opportunities in normal play. The Saints had that one really good penalty shot or free kick, but all their other chances are really just long balls that went through the defense.
Right.
The Chargers have been able to put together some organized attacks and just haven't been able to finish.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about the potential speed advantage of Santa Fe, but it looks like the Charger ladies have a size advantage and a strength advantage, and we're starting to see a little bit of that with them being able to push some people around and certainly not let the ball get taken away from them cheaply.
Yep, and that's a big part of the game, especially in high school soccer, and it's not always the glamorous part of the game is when you body somebody up or put a shoulder into somebody. It's part of the game, and the fans don't necessarily always like it, but it separates the teams, that's for sure.
And if you're on the receiving end, it could potentially get old by the middle part of the second half.
That's right. After you've been knocked down 7 times by that forward, then you kind of gotten tired of it at that point.
You certainly think twice about 50-50 balls, that's for sure.
That's when you start hearing those footsteps. So throw in for the Chargers. Chargers a little bit more spread out, a little bit more organized than you saw at the very beginning. It's like Riley Orton just playing in space. Wanted to play give and go, but wasn't able to connect on that one. So now Santa Fe South is challenging. There's that number 11 there.
Yeah. 17 got herself in good position once again. Had the Charger defender on the wrong side. Made a decent cross in. Probably could have done a little bit better with the cross.
Ramzada on the ball again. She's got May running up the sideline. She's got a little Hansing up top. Then gets her pocket picked on that one. Ross able to clear that one up to the midfielders. Looks like Ramzada's just going to dribble on that one again. She loves to dribble.
Yeah, that was a nice move.
May on the outside, can she get across in? Wasn't able to get quite enough on it that she wanted to, or Macy Moore on that, but good thought. You can see where she's thinking on that one. Looks like Coach Brewster was able to, or is moving Riley Orton up into that midfield to create a little bit more control in that midfield as well. So Mary Kate Magnus has switched into that defensive role, number 10, and that's, as we talked about, she's our feature player of the game, and she is pretty resilient in that she can play just about any position. She's forward capable. She's capable of playing in the defense. Here's a problem. Now can the forwards on the ball. She's got some time. Low shot, straight into the keeper. Still a little bit of confusion with the defense. Ends up getting... Oh, wow.
Not entirely sure what the referee is thinking about right
I
here.
think the referee's thinking that the referee is thinking that the Chargers passed the ball back to the keeper. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling here.
I'm not completely sure either.
At first I thought he was saying it was passing the ball back to the keeper. Now... He's given possession to the Chargers. So he's treating it like a goal kick. I didn't see it go out. Well, we'll have to check with Coach Brewster at the end of that one, but maybe he called a push or something.
He may have called a foul on them at the last second. And
that's all I could think of.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think that I saw was maybe a push or something like that. But,
right.
Man, it looked like at first he was calling an indirect kick for a pass back to the keeper, and that would have been dangerous for him 3 feet outside the line. So whatever that was, we dodged it, thank goodness. Chargers with possession again, but that could have changed the way the flow of the game for sure.
Sure could have.
Ramzada on the ball really didn't have control of it like she wanted to. She was trying to turn on her player and just couldn't keep the ball at her feet. So ends up turning it over. Chargers have to organize their defense again.
Looks like Coach Brewster brought in a new player, Taylon Rollins.
Taylon coming in up on this right side. Looks like she's going to play that right wing position. Give a little bit of rest to her wing position. And, boy, that number 17 is threatening again. You just got to worry about them connecting on that. A well-weighted pass, and she's in.
Yes.
Keeper's a little bit late coming off her line each time. It might be part of the reason that Coach Brewster moved Mary Kate back there as well, is to just keep an eye on her and track number 17, because I feel like that she's going to be the big threat.
Yeah, she may have to even think about rearranging the formation a little bit to create some sort of stopgap to cut off some of these passes, because you're exactly right. Even reasonably weighted ball there, and 17's in pretty free and easy.
Ramonzada fighting with the ball, ends it up in her side of things. She's going to try to get up to Rollins and throw in for the Chargers. So the Chargers moving down the field. See if they can get Riley Orton involved. She's certainly one of the best players on the field at the moment, and number 16, and they need to get her involved. She is a commit to Rogers State, so she's going to go play at the next level in college soccer, and that comes off of her head. Looking to hit it, get it to Elena Wilson on that far side. Keeper able to come out and intercept that, but again, leadership of Riley in the center and knowing what to do with the ball. Knew that there was a runner on the back end.
And again, we got a foot race here.
Lainey Gray doing a good job of boxing out that player. Ends up going for a corner, but one-on-one, I'm okay with the corner.
Yeah, actually, she did a really good job of using her speed to catch up. That was an even race. And to be honest with you, it's pretty impressive use of the body of number 11, because she has given up some size for sure.
It's a dangerous ball in the box. Hopefully, Chargers looking to clear it still, and was able to finally get foot on it. I think that was Mary Kate able to get her foot on it. Or, nope, that was Jalen Johnson able to get her foot on it. So a quick play by the Saints on the corner kick. Chargers weren't quite ready for it, and almost cost the Chargers. Across towards the center. Not really quite out of danger yet, but the ball's just bouncing around. Now here's trouble if she got any level of space. A little bit of a difficult ball to collect, but keeper Gabby Bone was able to hold on to that one. Sometimes I can tell you that that ball spins a little bit funny. It hits your gloves and that padding your gloves, and it just kind of takes off a little bit different. So, good job for Gabby to stay behind it and make sure that it didn't roll past her.
And you also have the natural surprises of the natural surface versus a nice turf field where the ball would predictably come to your hands. Looked like it might have taken a bad hop there at the last second, so that's good use of the body to shield the goal.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point, is a lot of these teams that play in high school are used to playing on their turf football fields, and so the luxury, I call it a luxury, of being able to play in the grass. Some people would probably rather play on turf, but the luxury of playing on grass is not a common thing in high school soccer, and so you, as a keeper, even as a team, you have to adjust to the different playing field.
Well, certainly when you've played as long as we have, we don't want any part of turf anymore. It's lost its luster a long time ago.
That's right.
I'll just take my knees and low back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. And then my health care plan is probably not going to be very very accepting of a blown ACL at my age.
That's right. That's right.
It's like Santa Fe's making a couple of adjustments on the field. Just a little over 2 minutes left in the first half. Chargers 0, Santa Fe 0. District 5. District 5A matchup between two very good programs that'll help separate a congestion at the top of the district between 4 teams. Chargers looking to make a little bit of separation themselves before having to take on Piedmont, who's going to be who they face in the next game at home. Piedmont is currently sitting at the top of the district, so certainly 2 back-to-back very, very difficult games that the Chargers have to play in their schedule.
That was a nice battle. Not totally sure the linesman got that one correct, but that was a good battle that I thought was going to lead to a corner.
Yep, Chargers really are doing a good job of putting pressure on the Saints. It's really just connecting that last pass that they need to get a little bit of space for one of their shooters.
But one thing's for sure, in the last 15 minutes, it looks like everyone's kind of calmed down, and you don't see as much one-touch kickball. You're starting to see the little bit more control, a little more thought process as to what to do with the ball next.
Yeah, the flow of the game's really kind of slowed down a little bit, which is good for the Chargers. They don't want to get in a foot race here. Here's a lofting cross. Keeper does a good job of bringing that one down. Couldn't quite tell if it went over the line, maybe on the line, but the referee's going to say play on. So keeper clears that one out, ends up going to the Santa Fe. Ramonzada, good job about tracking back and stealing that ball. Now she's got a little bit of space. She's looking to switch fields. Wing on that far side wasn't quite ready for a counter attack on that end, so out of position. I'll probably wind it down till halftime.
That was a good thought. That was a really good thought.
Yeah, and that's one of the challenges with that wing role is you got defensive responsibilities and offensive responsibilities, so you have a lot of space to track back and forth on. And if you're tracking back hard in order to cover a counter attack, and then our team gets it and tries to put their own counter attack together, you can easily be caught out of position. And that'll do it for the first half. Heritage Hall 0, Santa Fe South 0. We will break to some commercials and come back with the halftime review.
$10,000 that says Joe Cooper will beat any other Ford dealer's price on a new Ford.
I'll beat any Ford dealer's price on a new Ford by $500.
Or we'll give you $10,000 cash. Check it out. Get a new 2017 Escape for only $16,849 or just $159 a month. Or get a new F-150 Super Crew STX for only $299 a month. Getting the best buy of the week is fast, fun, and easy at Joe Cooper Ford. Who loves you, Oklahoma?
Come see us at Joe Cooper Ford.
Our fans have been the backbone of the club. Fans keep supporting us on the field, in the community, and are the driving force of our success. Our fans create an exciting atmosphere that drives charisma, excellence, and passion. Energy fans, we thank you and welcome you to year number 5.
There are moments that define us, that shape our character, that make us who we are. But what if there were no moments for the children of Oklahoma City? Our kids lack the most basic requirement to participate in sports, a field. It's our time to enable our children to create their own defining moment. To provide resources like an empowered coach, safe equipment, in a field that they can call home.
Since 2014, our fans have been the backbone of the club. Fans keep supporting us on the field, in the community, and are the driving force of our success. Our fans create an exciting atmosphere that drives charisma, excellence, and passion. Energy fans, we thank you and welcome you to year number 5.
And welcome back to Heritage Hall ChargerVision. I'm Brian Gordon along with George Crescent, and we are bringing Heritage Hall Lady Soccer to you. The Heritage Hall Lady Chargers versus the Santa Fe South Lady Saints in a District 5A matchup between two quality teams, Chargers 6-1, Lady Saints 8-2. And it's a 0-0 affair. And George, looking at it, I mean, I would say both teams are fairly even. Both teams have had their opportunities, but I think the Chargers have, if you give anybody the edge, Chargers had the edge so far.
Yeah, I think volume of chances was clearly Santa Fe. I think quality chances was clearly Heritage Hall. And I think you also see a contrast of styles. It's pretty evident that Santa Fe is not going to use a lot of midfield time. They're going to try to launch balls and make it a foot race. And I think Coach Brewster is going to try to convince her Lady Chargers to control the ball a little bit more, do a little bit more possession, be a little bit more thoughtful about what they're doing with the ball. But you do whatever you can with the team you have, and it looks like we have a size advantage. And I think you got to use that to the best of your ability. But I do think at some point some sort of Matic type player needs to emerge to cut off some of these passes, because I really worry that at some point one of these passes is going to have the right weight on it, and 17 is going to just stroll in for an easy one-on-one opportunity.
Yeah, number 17 for the Saints, Andrade. She's just fast. She's got great control of the ball, and as she showed in the first half with a free kick, she can put some power behind the ball. So you can't really give her a good opening, and those through balls are going to be very dangerous. They were picking on the left defender for the Chargers early on the game, and then Coach Brewster was able to make some adjustments, move some players around. She tried moving Mary Kate Magnus in the back from the midfield. That matched up pretty decently. Riley Orton was back there from at the beginning of the game, and she moved to the midfield and was able to do a little bit of control. But so Coach Brewster's using all her top players to match up against this formidable forward attack from Santa Fe. If you're the Santa Fe coach, do you still play that over the top, or do you adjust your play as well?
To be honest, I think I would talk to some of the midfielders and let them know they've got a little bit more time, maybe another dribble or two, and then really what we've been talking about, just try to take a little bit of heat off the ball, get a little better weight on the pass and let 17 or number 9 run right onto it. And because they're probably going to win the foot race, and just give them a nice pass to run onto. So I don't know that I would change a lot. I think I would worry a little bit about playing fast break kickball, especially if Heritage Hall is able to get their act together in the midfield.
Absolutely. And so looking at Coach Brewster's keys to the game, find the net, finishing scoring opportunities. It's a 0-0 affair, so you can't necessarily say that they've been doing that. They've had those opportunities. So really kind of, as you've been saying, maybe a hint of patience and gives them a little bit more wide capability.
Sure. I think number 2, pass and possess in the midfield, that has happened in the second half of the first half. I think they settled down and started to possess the ball a little bit more.
And then show toughness on 50-50 balls out of there. That really speaks to your point of we've got the size. When we're matching up with their players on those balls that are floating around, then we can knock them off the ball because we've got a pretty good size, and really need to take a little bit more command of that, get those balls, and then playing quick.
Absolutely.
So it looks like the teams are about to take the field. 1 minute on the clock. Might break to one commercial and then come back. We'll see you on the other side.
When you walk into Fuzzy's Taco Shop, you'll know you're in the right place. With the best Baja-style menu in town, we'll have the whole family addicted.
Order up.
Nachos, tacos, burritos, it doesn't matter. It's like an explosion of flavor in your mouth. We know you've had a long day, and you deserve a break. So, bring the crew to one of the Fuzzy's Taco Shop locations in Norman, Oklahoma City, or Stillwater. Welcome to your new addiction. Eat me.
Mercedes-Benz of Oklahoma City is proud to offer the leader of luxury SUVs, the new 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350.
We were looking for a powerful luxury SUV that's easy to handle. Safety is always a concern when driving on the highway, and we were really impressed with all the safety features on the GLE. It has a lot of cargo space, and that's very important to me when I'm hauling the family around. Our sales associate made our experience very memorable. It was just that easy.
Only at Mercedes-Benz of Oklahoma City.
And welcome back to Heritage Hall ChargerVision. Brian Gordon along with George Crescent. And we're bringing you the second half of the Heritage Hall Santa Fe South girls soccer game. Matchup of 5A district foes. A 0-0 affair, evenly based. Teams are taking the field. The Chargers are going to be in there all white, working from your right to your left. And the Santa Fe South girls are going to be in the all black, working from the left to the right. Certainly, Chargers going to look to get on the board quickly, start putting some distance between them and the Santa Fe South team. A lot of that's going to rest on the shoulders of Mary Kate Magnus, our feature player of the game, and Layla Ramazada in the center. Jalen Johnson in the center. The midfielders, as you said, George, are really going to have to play a key role in the second half.
Yeah, and it looks like in terms of weather, it doesn't look like the sun's going to be a factor for either goalkeeper, so there's not going to be an advantage there from what I can tell.
Wow, great cross from the Santa Fe South Saints into the center. Had players running in on the ball, but the defense was able to clear that ball up. There's Elena Wilson able to challenge for that ball. Now it's a foot race. Can she get it up forward to her forwards? It's like Coach Brewster's moved Lainey Gray up top and may have actually made an adjustment within her lineup. Looks like she may have shifted to a 4-4-2 role.
That's what it looks like.
So you've got Lainey Gray and Mary Kate Magnus up top, Elena Wilson, Layla Ramazada, Jalen Johnson, and Macy Moore running across the midfield. Santa Fe trying to play it down this near sidelines. End up being Charger throwing.
Yeah, looking at the Santa Fe setup, I'm not totally sure that they've changed their formation, but they look like they've got a lot of people behind the ball. But I guess they're still sitting the 3 people up top, so I guess it's some sort of 4-3-3 or modified 4-3-3 they're playing.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. It looks like that their defender has a little bit more of a sweeper mentality as well. She seems to be dropping off a little bit. Opportunity in the box if Chargers can bring that ball down, and it ends up being a free kick for the Saints to clear it out. Lainey Gray using that size to challenge the defense a little too roughly, I guess, at the moment.
Yeah, even though to me it looked like just shoulder to shoulder, but I'm not the referee.
Not today, you're not. And he may have a little bit better vantage point than we do.
True.
Mary Kate Magnus challenge on that ball, playing the ball while she's on. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody chest the ball down while they're on the ground. Nice left-footed shot, goes off a defender.
That's a nice cross.
Jalen Johnson looking wide. Macy Moore ends up being a throw-in for the Chargers deep in the same side, so the Chargers threatening. Quick throw into Jalen. There's the cross. Good cross in the box. little bit too close to that near post. Maybe served her a little bit better to put it far post, but you can tell the Chargers kind of coming out, putting some extra pressure on the Saints. Saints again looking for that counterattack, trying to pick those holes. Not quite what the Saints wanted to do there. And then Chargers number 20, Avery Brown, was able to collect the ball and play it up. Layla Ramzada able to. Again, that's that midfield role. We're just getting quick pressure, or they're pressured very quickly in that midfield and losing the ball. If we can create some space, give ourselves a little bit of a moment to think, then I think we can start putting some things together.
Yeah, it also looks like Avery is starting to fill that massive amount of space that existed in the first half. That's a nice thought on the shot. But it looks like we're not just going to let them run straight at us. So it looks like Avery's sort of not really playing stopper, but she sort of is just getting in the way a little bit more and disrupting their offense.
Play more of a maybe even a defensive midfielder role.
Yeah, sort of a holding position.
Yeah. Number 17 for the Saints. She's the one you got to keep an eye on. And again, one of those balls over the back. Riley Orton there to work with her keeper. And again, you got to watch that. You know, the keeper's a new keeper for the Chargers. Gabby's got to be a little bit more aggressive coming off that line, I think. I think she's waiting to see what Riley is doing and letting Riley kind of dictate how the back line's going to run. So a little more communication between them, and I think they'll be just fine. So throw in for the Chargers. Macy Moore is going to take the honors. Some good quick passing by the Chargers. Ramanzada creates some space. She's got a runner on their right side if she can cut it back. She was looking for Macy Gray down the center. Mary Kate Magnus tracking back as well. So the Chargers doing that midfield doing a decent job of adjusting and working with the flow of the game. Still getting a little bit of too much space between the forwards and the midfielders, though, for both teams, really.
Right.
And I think that may even just be fatigue. I mean, these girls have already spent 40 minutes running up and down this field.
That's a nice through ball.
That is a good-looking ball. A little bit heavy for getting a run, especially Ramanzada. Started her run probably a good 15 yards behind the line. But certainly some good thoughts. Laney Gray up top. Trying to feed Elena Wilson on the left side. Elena runs through that pass. Now she's got a moment if she can get her cross in. Couldn't quite get her hips. She's left-footed, but she couldn't get her hips turned around just quite quickly enough. So goal kick for the Saints. Chargers, again, just putting pressure on the Saints defense.
Yeah, you wonder on those if she didn't have enough time to just maybe stop and reposition herself altogether. There wasn't a whole lot of pressure from Santa Fe on her.
Yeah, they seemed to be playing off of her just a little bit, just so that to see what she was going to do rather than going and trying to challenge her pass or challenge her touch. So that's something certainly the Chargers can look to take advantage of.
And we're going to devote 2 people to number 17, which is probably the right thing to do.
It's probably a smart thing to do with her speed and her skill level. She feels like you got to worry about her just, changing direction. You lose your footing, and now we're in big-time trouble.
Right.
There she is again, looking for the crossover to number 11 on this side. Ellie Lewis tracking back with her. And it always, you see so much space on that field in the girls, but it seems like that we're getting closed down very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Again, 2-3 defenders on one player. Yeah, she still tries it. She still spins out and still working.
Oh, wow, that's a nice move.
She's got some opening. Can she get across? A lot of work to pass it to the keeper, though. I think she knows it as well. She saw that certainly wanted to get it across over to her, Laney Gray in the center, but just wasn't able to execute on that pass. Good job on that outside by Katie Ross to match up that number 17, make sure that she doesn't get in behind her. Will end up being a throw-in, though.
Yeah, I wonder if their coach saw something and wants to push 17 out on the wing as opposed to leaving her more central like the first half.
Well, and that probably has a lot to do with having Riley Ort in the center. I mean, Riley's certainly one of the best players on this team, probably one of the best players in the field. 17's a very good player as well. But so if you can create a better matchup than sticking your best player on Riley Orton, then certainly you want to try to do that. And there's Riley. First trying to head it out and then just clearing it out. Santa Fe looking to make the counter attack, but yeah. So I mean, I think Riley's causing the Santa Fe coach to adjust the way he's instructing the kids to play as well. Good quick ball. Look at that turn. Very good turn. Keeper was able to stand her ground and get the ball, but you got to worry about that quick turn. If she can get anything on that right foot, then that could be trouble.
Right.
So 30 minutes remaining in the game. Heritage Hall 0, Santa Fe South 0 in a clash of District 5 heavyweights. Two teams that are certainly going to make a strong run to the playoffs. Wouldn't be surprised to see both of them towards the top of the seeds and for the playoffs. Just really a matter of who's going to take the number 1 seed between them, Piedmont and Heritage Hall. Ball goes out of bounds, so a throw in. And it's again that the dribbling is just a few feet too far, a little bit too far that allows a defender to kind of step in the middle of it and take it away. But if you can shorten that dribbling a little bit, then you can control the ball and create more opportunities for you.
Yeah, she clearly can get past the first couple people. You just wonder about the additional dribbles maybe costing her the opportunity to get across. But it also, in all fairness, it also looks like she's really dangerously close to breaking through and finding herself in the box one-on-one with the keeper, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it won't take much for her to get past maybe that last defender. I mean, they're throwing a few defenders at her as soon as she starts dribbling, but if a collision between two defenders, now all of a sudden you got an open goal.
Right.
Laney Gray in the center tried to get control. Now it comes down to Mary Kate Magnus, our feature player of the game. She's fighting through and ends up spitting out to Jaylen Johnson. So the Chargers controlling the ball, just missing that last connection. Looks like Santa Fe's kind of packed it in too.
Yeah, they have.
And they're able to clear it out. So now we look for that counterattack.
Yeah, it's sort of odd at this stage of the game to see so many people behind the ball for a team that's put up 10 goals, 11 goals, 6 goals.
Just worried about that quick counterattack changing the flow of the game.
Sure.
But the Chargers have been pressuring them for most of the game anyway, for much of the game anyway. I don't want to say most of the game, but much of the game. So Santa Fe's going to have to do something because they certainly don't want to go into penalty kicks and leave it up to chance.
Yeah, and the second half has clearly started off much differently with Heritage Hall being on the front foot a lot more.
I see more in the center. Ball is drifting to the center. Their sweeper able to clear it out. Lotta just kicks in those little balls, kicks in the air, those little rainbow balls, just got to bring those down. And again, the foot race. A little bit of speed on that back line. Need to talk. Keeper again a little bit hesitant coming out. Got to watch that, but Riley wasn't able to keep that forward off. While we have a second, say thank you to Quail Creek Bank for supporting us again this year. It's your connection for better banking. www.quailcreekbank or .bank, member FDIC. Another deep ball into the behind the Charger defense, but not really a threat. They're just through balls that we got to watch.
Right.
They're pretty heavily weighted, so I'm not even sure if the Saints forwards have the speed to catch up onto them, but you don't want to underestimate it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and another interesting thing that's just happened is we've got number 17, Andrade, dropping back almost into a shadowing role of Mary Kate.
Huh. We'll see how that plays out. But she certainly, so the Saints certainly seeing Mary Kate's skill level and that she can certainly be a threat to put your best player on her.
Yeah, they're clearly worried about something.
Lena Wilson threw the ball, ends up throwing a throw-in for the Chargers. Brewster on the sidelines making her adjustments. Certainly used to being in this position where she has 0-0 tie with a strong team. That's
a nice move. That is a very nice move by Layla. And that is dangerous.
Near post. Good near post shot. Good save by the keeper. It's a real good opportunity for the Chargers. Deflected out wide. Charger corner kick. But, a good driven low corner shot.
That was probably the best opportunity of the game, hands down.
Layla Ramonzada doing a lot of work and getting herself into prime position to get that shot off and just enforcing the keeper to a very good diving save to save a shot on the near post. Now her corner kick. Drifting the box.
Not bad.
Good cross. Almost in there. Player goes down in the box right in front of the keeper, but ends up being a throw-in for the Chargers. But again, a very dangerous ball. It looks like it was Mary Kate that volleyed that ball in towards what ended up being the near post of the corner kick, and there was somebody there just couldn't get their head on it.
It was a nice cross, and you almost get the feeling that there is a goal coming soon.
Yeah, the Chargers. You feel like the Chargers smell blood, and that they're ready to capitalize and get one into the net.
And that play where Layla pulled it back, that was kind of like what we were talking about. Just taking that extra little touch, the defenders, as they'll be apt to do, are going to overcommit and run themselves off the touch line. So if you can just take that extra touch, you find yourself in the box with lots of space and lots of different options.
I have a feeling that we'll probably see that again from Layla once she gets indication that it works. Then she'll just keep going back to that dribbling and then taking that second. And till then, Chargers have to make sure that they are watching the counter attack and creating opportunities. And this will be a good opportunity for the Chargers. Would have liked to have had the goal there from
absolutely.
Riley Orton able to put it over the keeper. Now the keeper heard the whistle and probably had quit putting enough effort into it. So a free kick for the Chargers. It's like Ramonzada is going to be the one to take the kick, and you know that she's going to goal.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous situation for Santa Fe.
Yeah, and the Chargers need to make sure that they follow up on this because we've been testing the keeper. She hadn't really been able to grab it securely, so you know that she'll just be putting it in the ground in front of her.
Looks like the referee needs the English Premier League spray to establish the wall distance.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of movement on that 18. Good driven ball, just too high. Wasn't able to get it just over the crossbar, and goal kick for the Santa Fe team. But I feel like she may have wanted that one back. To put it on, you got to put it on frame and at least make the keeper work. But, again, a good opportunity by the Chargers, really because of the size and that they're bodying team players up on that back line. That one just drifts out. Didn't touch
if you had to rate the Santa Fe back line to their midfield, clearly they're going to make a living off their midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of weakness, I feel like, at the back line that we're getting ready to expose.
Yeah, and whether it's fatigue or just the quality of players that Brewster's pushing up forward, you do see the kind of the tide shifting in that chess matchup at the top of our line. Throwing for the Chargers. Charver definitely packed in on that far side. Might need to spread it out a little bit more. I'd like to see a little bit more space so that they can connect with this this line over here, the wings.
Yeah, and somebody is going to have to be, I don't want to say brave enough, but brave enough to take a shot from outside because they are really packed in. I think the idea that you're going to get a clean shot off inside the box might be a little bit foreign at this point.
Santa Fe South establishing their own counterattack. Chargers trying to hold the line, and again, just one of those through balls that ends up getting all the way to the keeper. Chargers doing a really good job of holding that back line.
Yeah, but I think that communication, you saw that hesitancy in the delivery of the ball, and then you also saw that number 11 was very hesitant too because she was really close to being caught in an offside trap.
Again, over ball to number 11. Now she's got a little bit of space. Katie Ross out there challenging her. Was able to kind of get a foot on it. Low-driven ball, just wide of the goal. Probably one of Santa Fe's better opportunities as well.
That's probably the best shot we've seen on target for them.
So the Chargers narrowly escaping that one. Low shot across the goal. 20 minutes left in the game. 0-0. Heritage Hall versus Santa Fe South Saint. ChargerVision would like to thank our newest supporter, Venue 104. They take amazing care of our students every day at lunch and serve the state's best game day gourmet concession. So thank you for that. So goal kick for the Chargers. Santa Fe looking to expose that right side of the defense, but the ball goes long, so it'll end up being a goal kick again.
So let's think tactically. Is there something else missing here? I think Coach Brewster's done a really good job with whatever she said at halftime and the tactics here in the second half. I'm sitting here kind of scratching my head as to what else we could be doing. We're definitely tighter along the back line. We have more of the ball. We're using our size. And Layla is very close to scoring.
Yeah, I think that, we're doing the right things. This is going to be Santa Fe's a tough team, so it's not one of those things where we're just going to dominate and should be necessarily dominating. It should be a fairly even game. I think she's moving her key players around, give them a little bit of rest, try to expose some weaknesses in the Santa Fe lineup. So I think we're doing the right things, as you say. It's just a matter of finishing those opportunities in the box. And, Santa Fe is packing them in when we get on their side into our attacking third of the field. So, the only way you can draw them out is to start hitting some of those balls from good range to make them start thinking that you're going to be shooting distance and they've got to step up to you. But
and I'll tell you, we haven't really been keeping track of it, but I guarantee you we've said the number 17 a lot less in this half.
Yeah. Yep.
So if the plan for them is for her to get in the way of our offense, I'll take that all day over what she was doing in the first half with those runs. Yeah,
she was certainly exposing our defense in that first half and creating opportunities of her own. I think she's easily the best player on the field for the Santa Fe team, and I'm surprised they're not pushing more through her.
That is a great ball. That is a great ball. Oh, boy.
The defender did a great job of blocking out our forward, but, yeah, that was a beautiful ball.
In terms of the weight of the pass, that was really spot on.
Santa Fe looking to put their counterattack together. Katie Ross stepping up to disrupt that. Lainey Graves moved in the back. Mary Kate Magnus moved in the back to Riley Orton. Coach Brewster's got Layla Ramzada up top, and that forward roll and Riley Orton in the middle. There's Riley right there. Mary Kate looking to disrupt that, able to get a foot on it. For just a moment, Santa Fe was just pacing their balls, taking a moment, looking for the open player rather than just kicking it forward. That could be a challenge. Laney Gray able to get to it, pushes it off the player, and that'll be a throw-in for the Chargers. Well, no.
I'm not totally.
Yep.
I think he's.
Yeah, it looks like the ref is overruling that one.
I was going to loan him my glasses, but they sorted it out themselves.
Yeah, he just got a little flag happy at that moment, so able to make the right call there for the Chargers. Chargers end up giving it right back. A little bit of space in the center if Jalen can get it. Now just picking out Ramazada. Again, and it's just wrong. Oh, boy.
That is.
She's hungry.
Just a little bit wide. Didn't quite get a hold of it.
Yeah, you can see the damage that she can do, and that it's her and 4 forwards. She doesn't have a whole lot of help up there with her. She's kind of exposed, but boy, just by herself, she's a handful for that defense.
Right, and it's kind of like what we've been observing. I think Santa Fe needs their midfield to take more control of the ball because I feel like we can expose this back line.
Yeah, I think that we certainly have the better players, the better pieces of. That right there, I think it's the not communicating with the other players on the field. She was certainly looking for somebody to make a run through and wasn't able to complete on that. Nobody was there to make that run. Some Chargers really just need to communicate a little bit, maybe take a little bit of a second and look and see if there's somebody making that run rather than just giving up the ball.
Right.
But the Chargers certainly knocking on the door for sure. Riley Wharton stopping that one. Probably would have liked a little lighter touch so that she could dribble into that open space that she had. Well done by Laney Gray to get up on that one.
Absolutely.
And Riley is somebody who's not afraid to body you up. So she will get involved and get her body on you anywhere on the field. So,
yeah, that was really a great job of shielding the ball from the opponent.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why she's going to go play at the next level is that she's not afraid of that contact. Mary Kate clearing it.
So I think here you have to have the anticipation that Layla just showed that ball is going to get over the defender's head, and so we should be almost in business here in the box.
It's hard to beat 2 defenders, though, especially when they're physical like that.
Right.
That's where she needs somebody that she can play the ball back to relieve a little bit of that pressure because she's certainly having to do it all by herself right now.
Yeah, and I think you brought this up earlier, but I'd like to see their keeper get tested a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not totally sure about the hands in terms of not giving up a rebound.
Yep, I think at the very least it brings their defense out a little bit because they don't want to just let you sit there and pepper the keeper from 18 yards out. But, these kids are used to kind of getting their head down and trying to dribble into the box all the time. But, hopefully one of them would kind of get a little bit greedy and think, okay, I'll just take a good shot and see what happens. And those are the ones that, drift over the keeper's heads.
So with a little over 13 minutes to play, at what point I think Santa Fe would be more prone to start getting into a really hyper-defensive mode, take the tie and move on down the road. What do you think the ploy is for Heritage Hall? Do you go for it, or do you take a more conservative approach at this point as we get closer to the 10-minute mark?
I think Heritage Hall's been putting enough pressure on them that you just feel like it's going to come. So I think that Heritage just keep doing what they're doing. They've got the pieces on the field. Layla's just causing all sorts of havoc in that back line. She just needs a little bit more support role. That's a dangerous ball to that back post. Santa Fe had a player there, just couldn't handle the bounce. Good job by Katie Ross to interrupt that one. Now she's got a little bit of space. Chased down from behind. But keep in mind, high school soccer, there are no ties. You go to golden goal overtime or penalty shootout. So still a lot of soccer to be played. 12 minutes left in the game, and then if nobody gets off of high center at that point, then we go to extra sessions, and then a penalty kicks if nobody scores in that end. So. Could be an exciting end to this game.
There's another through ball.
And a little bit of a push in the back. The referee noticed that one, was able to make that call. I think the parents probably helped him make that call as well. So, but Santa Fe's not afraid to be a little bit physical.
No, I think it could be a little bit of frustration. The forwards have not seen much action this half. It's all been sort of literally on their half of the field.
Yeah, and I think that if you look at it from a Santa Fe standpoint, their best player is absolutely number 17. And that's a good move there.
This is really dangerous. It's a virtual 2-on-1, but really well played.
Riley Orton again stepping up on that one to disrupt that. Now, Mary Kate just a touch away from getting past the defender and does a really good job of coming back and winning it back. Now she's got some space. She's got Jalen Johnson on the left side, wide open if she can get to it. And she played Layla Ramzada. Layla wanted to crack it, but had too many defenders around her. She just needs to pull that trigger.
Yeah, it looked like she had somebody out to her right, too, that she could have laid the ball off to.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson had a lot of space, a lot of opening. That if they were able to get her the ball, she would have had a couple of free touches before a defender even got anywhere close to her. And she's proven that she's been able to put a foot through the ball as well. Looks like the girls are getting the sense of this game as well. All of a sudden, the intensity of the game and the physicalness of the game kind of picked up.
Yeah, there was some disgruntled parents on that penalty call, but I can assure you that what Mary Kate just did, you can find in the Charles Barkley package of
that's right.
Of clearing people out of the way.
Review the tape. You can probably see that trademark. Again, another ball down to the keeper, so she comes out and collects it very, very well. Not a lot of pressure there. A lot of contact in the middle. Now Mary Kate's got some space. She's looking for Layla. She's getting to
send a space.
Now can Layla do something with it? Again, a little bit far for a shot when you have that on the move and you have that kind of pressure. If she was able to bring the ball to a stop, she probably would have had a little bit more success with that.
Yeah, and that's a tough angle.
Mm-hmm. Ball goes out for a throw-in, so the Chargers will get the ball back, be able to put some more pressure on Santa Fe. But with 9 minutes left in the game, certainly the intensity of the game. Both teams really want this. Both teams understand the importance of this win. Create some separation in the district. Certainly puts them in the forefront of having the best seed in the district for going to playoffs, and that's what it's all about. So the Saints making a couple of subs, bringing in a forward, it looks like, and a midfielder. While we have a second, ChargerVision would like to thank presenting sponsor Fuzzy's Taco Shop. There's no better game day restaurant. Fresh, fast, and fun. Stop in Chisholm Creek after the game or visit one of their other locations in Edmond, Bricktown, Norman, Stillwater, and now open in Moore. Fuzzy's, welcome to your new addiction.
And don't look now, but it looks like 17 has been moved back into the forward position.
Well, and it looks like to counter, Coach Brewster had moved Riley Orton back to the sweeper position. Yeah. So a good, that both coaches are paying attention. Mary Kate moving back into the center mid-roll.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they're matching up tactically, and without much fanfare, you just kind of see the player drift up, and hopefully we're not going to see too much of her.
Yeah, hopefully, have a lot of confidence in Riley. Riley is a very challenging player to get around, so hopefully she doesn't get too much space. Mary Kate looking to play the ball up to Layla. Layla didn't really get the control she wanted on it, but still an opportunity for the Chargers.
We have an opportunity here if we can get. Oh, that's a nice shot. And that's what we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. Let's challenge their keeper and see what happens. And there was no chance of her getting that ball clean. So you got to think if you can just pepper a few more shots, you might get an ugly goal. They all count.
Yep, put the stress on following up any of the shots understand that they're going to come from distance a little bit, and then follow them up and get that cleanup ball. Worked for Michael Owen for an entire career.
That's right.
Job by Riley.
Yeah, Riley is really masterful in body position.
Mm-hmm.
She's not even really coming close to having to do anything remotely overly physical. She's just being really smart with her positioning and shutting down 17 immediately, which is what you have to do. There's certainly nothing to be gained by getting into a foot race with her.
Yep. So a corner kick for the Chargers. Good opportunity to see if the Chargers can make something out of this. Certainly it'd be a big step of getting in on the putting some separation between the Santa Fe with minutes rolling off the scoreboard. So corner kicks, do you like the low-driven corner kick, or do you like the high-arcing?
Well, with her taking it left-footed, I like it in swinging to that far post. She got a little too much on it and kind of missed the mark, but that would have been a potentially really nice ball to the far post with an in-swing instead of an outswing.
She certainly wants that one back, and hopefully she'll have another opportunity. But Chargers certainly putting pressure on the Saints at this point.
That's almost one that if she can get it into the right place, there's either somebody there for a clean back post shot, or the goalie certainly will be out of position, and if you can tap it back to anybody in the middle of the field, they'll have nothing but an open net.
Well, those are very hard from a keeper's perspective, just really difficult to judge the way it's coming in. This could be trouble. Can she get on it?
This is it.
That's it.
That's it.
It's a goal for the Heritage Chargers. Layla Romanzada able to put it past the keeper. Great ball over. Layla let it drop, bounce a couple of times, and then misplay by the defender, and it really was a one-on-one with the keeper. Defender was in the mix, but Layla did a great job of just getting a foot on it and putting it in near inside the far post. And Chargers up 1-0 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game itself.
Yeah, really excellent composure, and it's kind of like what we had been predicting with this back line. They were going to give somebody an opportunity, and glad we made the most of that one.
So Chargers up 1-0. Just now watch for the you got to be careful of that letdown, because the Santa Fe is going to they've got it in the fire in them now, because they know that they have to get back on the scoreboard.
And these situations are always tricky for a coach, because I think you always have this tendency to at this point want to park the bus, but you haven't parked it all game. You've had most of the possession, if not a serious majority of the possession. Mm-hmm. So changing tactics all the way around to just get 10 people behind the ball at this point can sometimes lead to that one chance, and next thing you know, you find yourself in a 1-1 position. So I think you just got to keep doing what you're doing.
Trouble. Wow.
And luckily that header was right at our goalkeeper.
Kidding. That was an unmarked player in the middle of the box, and she headed it straight to the keeper. But, man, you can't let that happen.
No.
So the Chargers dodged that bullet. That would have been really a big letdown to go up, battle this entire game, and then go up 1-0 with 5 minutes left, and then to give up a goal. So goalie is certainly thankful that was coming right at her.
Yeah, and after you see something like that, you start really wanting to park the bus.
That's right. Yeah, at that point, you're like, okay, I'm going to start investing in my defense and
absolutely
not let that happen again. Saints playing their number 17, that very quality player right at the top, center of the top. So match straight up with Riley Orton, which is a good thing. And Delaney Gray's back there, so we've got the speed matched. Now it's just a matter of watching her skill level.
Yeah, clearly the back three is very stout for Heritage Hall at this point.
It's like Layla Ramanzada has moved into the midfield role a little bit, so get a little bit of that speed and control in the midfield. She's got some space. Tried to feed Layla with the through pass, didn't really quite get there. And trying to clear it out, ends up getting an arm, and this could be trouble if they can get foot on it. Again, it's just dangerous, coming straight to the keeper.
Yeah, and you just wonder what exactly has happened here, because that is more action than Santa Fe has had the entire half combined in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you got to feel like Santa Fe is just, trying to put a little more or step it up a little bit more, understanding their backs against the wall. But also, the Chargers just sometimes you just kind of fall back on saying, hey, we're up 1-0, time's running off.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a letdown, maybe a little bit of watching the scoreboard, watching the time tick down. But I'll tell you what, that 17 kind of breaks almost free. They finally corralled her, but, boy, she's got some skill.
Oh, yeah, she is a dangerous player, and luckily the turf got her in that one. Good step over. This is a very good Santa Fe team. They've got some good, calm, skill players. That's the trouble. Can Riley Orton stay on it? Again, just the way that she bodies her.
Oh, yeah, that's just masterful defending.
So, free kick for Santa Fe with minute 45 on the clock. So, good opportunity. Chargers going to let some time run off, make the referee back them up a little bit here. Dangerous ball. These are the type balls they like to find that foot underneath the bar. Mm-hmm. Good driven ball. Way to hold on to it. Good job by Gabby Bowen to be able to hold on to that one. Santa Fe was sitting there waiting for her to drop it, and she did a good job. So the Chargers trying to hold on for one more minute.
Yeah, that shot looked like it was placement over power, but I have to say I haven't seen Gabby give up anything. It seems like when she gets her hands on it, she's got it.
Yeah, she's done a very good job. Very good athlete. Very good job about holding on to that ball. Riley Orton clearing it out. This is where they need to bring a Lamar Batista and just put that ball over the stands. and forget where the extra balls are.
That's right. So here's probably a good opportunity to let about 2 or 3 people touch the ball and decide who's going to throw it in.
That's right.
With 20 seconds roughly left and counting.
Another throw in. Laney needs to decide if she wants to throw it in.
That's very nice. That's a very nice technique. Hand it off to 22. Kill about 10 more seconds.
And that should just about do it because Elena, I know, is counting her steps on the way to the field. Not sure that's going to be able to do anything for Santa Fe. So
that's it.
That will do it. Heritage Hall 1, Santa Fe South 0. Heritage Hall come out with a great victory on a Layla and Ramazada goal at the very end. So we will break to commercial and come back and wrap up the game.
Since 2014, our fans have been the backbone of the club. Fans keep supporting us on the field, in the community, and are the driving force of our success. Our fans create an exciting atmosphere that drives charisma, excellence, and passion. Energy fans, we thank you and welcome you to year number 5.
There are moments that define us, that shape our character, that make us who we are. But what if there were no moments for the children of Oklahoma City? Our kids lack the most basic requirement to participate in sports, a field. It's our time to enable our children to create their own defining moment. To provide resources like an empowered coach, safe equipment, and a field that they can call home.
And welcome back to Heritage Hall ChargerVision. I'm Brian Gordon along with George Crescenton. Just watched the Heritage Hall girls pull out a win against the Santa Fe South Lady Saints in a 1-0 win in a 5A district matchup. And our Texadelphia most valuable player, hands down, has to be Layla Ramazada.
Absolutely. Technically, really, really good. About 15 minutes into the second half, you just had this feeling that she was going to break through. She was having a lot of luck getting past at least 2 defenders, if not 3 at a time, and just really felt like there was an opportunity to expose that back line, and she finally did.
And definitely, as we had talked about a little bit ago, too, as Riley Orton certainly played a big role in that match. They had Santa Fe had their number 17, which was just a fabulous player, and Riley matched her up really kind of step for step.
I can tell you, as someone who has a daughter who plays soccer, if you wanna see how to use your body as a defender, we just saw a clinic on body positioning there, shielding the ball, not giving the opponent any space to breathe, and doing it all without having to do anything remotely dodgy. I mean, it was all just technique.
Yeah, so definitely a great outing by the Heritage Hall girls. Really valuable win, especially as they have to face 5A Piedmont on the 10th. So that 5A or Piedmont is the top of the district, so that's going to be another just grueling matchup for the Chargers. But if they can come out of this with a win, come out of Piedmont with a win, then they've got a firm foothold at number 1 in the district. So definitely a fun game to watch. You're going to want to stick around for this next one, folks, though. The Santa Fe South boys take on the Heritage Hall varsity boys, and that's going to be a matchup of really just two quality soccer teams, some really good powerhouse players on both sides. So what you'll want to do is restart your browser, but certainly stick around and watch that one. George, thank you very much for joining us up in the booth. It's always great to have you. And we'll see everybody in the next game. We'll see you on the pitch.